Hello everyone, and welcome back to this little thing about meeting my dungeon fighters. I was actually considering naming these episodes Meet the Warlock or Meet the Demolitionist, kind of as a little play towards the TF2 Meet the videos, but they're nowhere near as entertaining as those are. I don't think anything can ever be as entertaining as the Meet the videos are. I think they're fucking great. That aside, today we're gonna be hanging out with Eritrea, my Demolitionist. Now, an interesting thing about Eritrea, she was actually the first character that shot ahead of my crew, and she was not the first character I made. I want to say she was maybe the third or fourth. I think I made a Slayer, Fighter, Mage, and then Gunner? Something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure. I wish I could remember. I changed their order on the character select screen to their level hierarchy, as opposed to the order they were created, so I actually don't remember when she was created. Regardless, the point is, she was not first. But she shot ahead of the rest of the crew, simply because I loved playing with her. Like, I loved her abilities and everything. It was, like, really, really my cup of tea. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but, if you look up all the character classes, you'll see that the ones I chose are the ones that specialize in strength. Like, that's their thing, most of them. The only exception I can think of is the mage, and that's because both of them are intelligence-based, I think, magic. Which is fine, I totally get it. But, everyone else went power. Straight up power, because that's me, that's how I roll. If you watch any of my Let's Plays where I can choose, like, character customization or specialties, that's how I always do. That's always my preference. Anyway, so Eritrea is a Demolitionist. And one thing I didn't cover with Enis, because I don't know if it works for his class, some classes have specialized weapons and armor sets. In Enis' case, he knows cloth armor mastery, I believe. So if you equip cloth armor to him, you get bonuses. Heavy armor, plate armor, that kind of stuff is better than cloth armor, and if you look at it, in-game, it will give you more defense, but it doesn't give you the bonuses for the class because of because they're not cloth armor. So I always try to stick to their armor preferences. Eritrea's armor preference, as well as most of my characters' armor preferences, is heavy armor. But that's not the point. That's not what I want to say. What I want to say, in relation to that, is weapon preference. I do not think Enis has a weapon preference. I keep him equipped to staffs, I think. It's either staffs or poles that I keep him equipped with. Don't know if that's his specialty. Eritrea's specialty are hand cannons, which are these big fucking guns that only shoot they only shoot one bullet each. So she puts one hand out, fire, puts the other one, fire, and that's it. If someone's close when they get hit by the ignition of the blast, they'll get hit twice, but that's really it. She started off with I think an auto gun, which shoots a bunch. It's like how Enis throws a bunch of bullets from his hands. It's kind of like that sort of thing. And I got so used to it, I wasn't sure if I wanted to switch to hand cannon. But I've gotten so used to it again after I switched to it that I actually don't mind anymore. So you're gonna see some terrible movement here. Like, I'm sorry, it's been a while since I played Eritrea, and so my aim is gonna be all sorts of off. I'm gonna miss a bunch of attacks. I'm gonna aim at nothing. Just bear with me, I get better. Somewhat. So Eritrea has a lot of awesome moves. And the cool thing is, when she whips out her weapons, if someone's standing close, they will get hit by the weapon coming out. So she always has a Gatling gun, classic. Heavy bullets, I think they're called cannonballs. That's her basic firing move. She also has two variants of the flamethrower. The stationary one with a short spray, and the one that she can move with a really long flame that does shit tons of damage. There it is! She also has an ice variant, which is just as awesome. I love using them both. Like, they're my favorite. If I could, I would just use that for an entire dungeon. The flamethrowers and the ice thrower. Really cool shit. Am I gonna use it now? Oh no, she has that too, a cluster bomb, which is pretty awesome. As long as you hold the button, the cluster will keep flying. Once you let it go, it explodes. Grenade launcher. There's the flamethrower again. Ice thrower. Ice thrower. Nope. Wait, I think I forgot that I had it. One thing I did forget that I have is the laser. She has an awesome laser cannon. The thing is, you see in the bottom, you can only hold, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 skills in the hotkey mapping. Yeah, there, I'm checking. There's the laser. That one. The reason that that's there and not accessible by a single press is because I memorized the the quick command for it, which is, there it goes, yeah! Which is left Z or right Z, which Z is the basic skill button. So they all have those kind of combo buttons that you can do to pull out the moves, and if you memorize them, you won't need the move in your chart anymore. So that frees it up for another move that you might not be able to memorize. So more often than not, all the skills that are not in my chart are the direction Z ones. So left Z, down Z, up Z, up down Z. Those types of things, very easy. If they're like left down up right Z, I keep that in my box until I decide I don't want the move anymore, if ever, because I'm not gonna memorize that. It's like, this is the guy who doesn't have the patience for a single fighting game. You know? It's like, okay, I like fighting games. Injustice is one of my favorite things, but man, I do not have that capability. This thing is awesome. As you saw, that gigantic, weird plasma cannon, when the orb is forming, you can keep it held to keep forming the orb. It'll drain in nearby enemies and shoot them off like poor bastards. Am I going to use my ancient trigger here? There's the ice thrower, yes! Okay, ancient trigger is my awesome skill move, where I summon a gigantic ancient weapon and I wipe people out with it. I also have a nuke that I can drop on the battlefield, because why the fuck not? Why wouldn't you have a nuke? That's called Spriggan. I love it. You like slide into the enemies and to take them down, then you shoot them in the face a bunch of times. Really awesome shit. So, I think my aim got better, but it was still not that good. Regardless, it takes a while because this character is completely indirect. There are some direct moves that you can learn, like Spriggan, or like some kick moves, you know, like Chun-Li style helicopter kicks and shit like that. But I never put my skills into that. Once again, I'm more of the giant explosions, brute force kind of guy, so that's what I mainly focus on. I think I did a good job demoing most of my moves in that one dungeon run. But yeah, like I was saying, I do have Ancient Trigger, which like, when E's use that elemental explosion move, I can't remember what it's called, you know, that did all the chain of explosions of the different colors, the different elements. His cut-in came in. You know, it's a really cool thing. It signifies, I think, those characters' specific, like, ultimate abilities. I think they have multiple of them. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to say more because I don't know for certain. I've only ever gotten one per character to my knowledge. But that was his. Hers is Ancient Trigger, where she literally a gigantic gun comes in out of nowhere and just boom everything. So you'll see it. I'm pretty sure I'll use it eventually. Fucking awesome. Like, coming up is pretty funny. I was recording this gameplay because I don't know if you're aware of this, but I recorded the gameplay first. I'm recording the audio later for all 4 of these videos for Eni's, Eritrea, Janix, and True Blade Mia. But yeah, so here I was recording and my phone started ringing. So if I look bad, that's why. Like, I'm trying to clear this next room out very quickly so I can answer my phone because my sister was calling. And I left the recording on because I assumed we'd just be talking for 5 minutes and I'll get back to playing and I'll chop up the nice little 5-minute section. That's not what happened. We talked for like, I think till she came home. She was on the drive back or something. Yeah, see there. I can definitely tell the phone was ringing at that point. So we were talking for way longer, and eventually I finally said, like, okay, you know what? I ended the recording and started a new one in the same spot later. Like, because you can't really pause this game. That's I don't know if that's a drawback or anything, but you cannot. The only time you can do any sort of pause function is in the towers, which are these bonus dungeons that are really stupid. But yeah, there's a clock that you can hit that'll pause the game, because those towers can take a long time to run through. And I don't think the game wants you to lose all that progress you made just because, I don't know, someone's calling you, or you got really hungry or had to run to the bathroom. You know, shit like that. And in other cases, this is intended to be like a multiplayer game. I think it's even more fun if you have 4 people, you know? So it'd be weird if one person could just stop the action for everybody. I don't know. Regardless, so the towers. I might as well bring them up. Keep talking about it since I brought them up. Fuck the towers. Those things suck. I don't remember why you had to go to the Tower of the Dead, because in my let's play of the game, I had one. I went with it. I went to it with True Blade Mia. I have an episode called Tower of the Dead. Cannot remember why I went there, but I'm pretty sure there's a quest that requires you to go there. But it's really stupid. The more annoying thing is awakening. If you want to awaken, you gotta clear the Tower of the Dead. No, not the Tower of the Dead. The Tower of Illusion, I think. I can't remember. It's the second one, I believe. But you don't actually have to clear it. You have to go as far through it or as many times through it until you get 10 specific spirits of warriors that you fight in that tower. And it can be annoying, you know, depending on if the thing is frustrating. Usually I have to go through the tower at least twice, mainly because I die. But there have been rare occasions where I think I cleared it in one go. The tower is really frustrating though. It's 50 floors, and they get obviously consistently harder. Well, the hardest one being, did I use Ancient Trigger at all? I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Hopefully I did, but if not, we'll see it eventually. I don't know why I refuse to use it all the time. Anyway, the tower just, man, there's some floors that just aren't fair. I think floor 39 is where you fight Nightna of the Death, and she has a move that will insta-kill you. And I'm like, that's not fair. That really isn't fair in this tower situation. And there are other rooms where you'll fight, like, 4 unique dungeon fighters, because normally you fight like average slayer, average priest, average fighter, but sometimes you'll fight them with names, and if we fight like 4 of them, they will pin you to one location and completely wipe you out, and it's really annoying because you can't do anything. You can't move, you can't run away, they keep stunning you in the same spot. I've had that happen to me, and I've been really upset. I've been like this close. No, I actually have rage quitted a few times. Annoying. Alright, these guys suck too. If they see you, they'll ring their bell and wake up these other guys. Fuck these guys. You know, this is really funny. I probably should talk about the story of this area since I talked about the story of the last one. This here is Ghent. Ghent is a city. Is this Imperium? I don't think this is Imperium. Or is it? I think it is. But it's a city in the sky, I think. Because the way Dungeon Fighter said, Underfoot, which is the land where the Ice Wall, Behemoth, and a bunch of other locations are accessible, is on the ground level. There's the Middle Ocean, which is like an ocean floating in the sky, basically, and then there's land above that ocean, which I think is a pretty awesome concept. At least that's how it was in the old version. I don't know if right now after the, what's it called? The destabilization? The degeneration. It has a term. Some bad shit happened to the world of Arad, now it's all shit. But regardless, this place, Ghent, is at war with the cartels. This giant illegal group of assholes. And when you arrive, they are on their last legs. Us, the Ghent, not the cartels. The cartels are wrecking shop. So you, as a one-man army or a 4-man army, depending on if you have friends, manage to turn the tide of this war and help Zeldine Schneider, Sandstorm Varric, and a bunch of other assorted lovable characters take back the land of Ghent. And it's a very fun time. If not a bit frustrating at times, because you have to run through these locations a lot. I don't even know. I wonder if the number of times you have to run through a dungeon for the story is the same every time. It honestly feels like it gets longer, especially in Power Station, which you'll see later. Maybe I'm just crazy. Regardless, that's what you were doing here. You're fighting these illegal cartels and trying to take back Ghent, as well as find the Princess of Ghent, the Imperial Princess, who was kidnapped by the cartels. The funny thing is, this level of this area pits you against the Silver Spoon Circus, a sideshow of freaks who apparently are sympathizers, if not outright members, of the cartel. What? An evil circus? Like, when I originally played this area, I'm like, really? This is what we're doing now, an evil circus. Look, they even have a fire-breathing clown. What is this bullshit? There we go, Ancient Trigger. Wipe out the clowns. I really don't get it. I don't know why there are clowns. I don't understand. The ringleaders of the circus, what are they called? The Felty brothers, I think. Or the Martel brothers. I think one's either named Martel or one's named Felty. I don't remember. But those guys are jerkwads. Like, seriously. Fuck those guys. I really don't understand what the circus has to do with the cartel, but it's hilarious, so you know what? I'll let it slide. It's entertaining. Hey, Vaughn. Yeah, it's funny. Vaughn was added into like every element of the story since the new reboot of the series, and they added more detail to the story, like more characters and whatnot. Vaughn just started appearing here. I'm like, who the fuck are you? When I first came back into the game, and I learned that he pretty much follows you everywhere you go and helps you out in a bunch of things. No clue what his story is yet. Actually, I do. He's one of the ancient heroes of this world. There was a huge, very important battle fought against an evil spirit a long time ago, and 4 warriors, I believe, fought it. Agonzo, Siren, Roxy, and Vaughn. I think it was those 4. I could be wrong. Maybe there was one more, but I think it was those 4. And yeah, that's him. He doesn't act like an ancient hero at all, though. He's kind of a jerk / lazy type of bum, so, you know, likable in that way. But he can get serious, so, you know, that's cool. Though Siren's definitely my favorite. I love Siren. I don't think we'll see him in any of my videos, though. He mainly hangs out at, what's it even called? Timegate, right, which no one else is anywhere near that area, and the one person who is already cleared it, so till next time, Timegate. Which, wow, Timegate. I'll just say this about it. That was when I started paying a lot of attention to the story. I mean, I never really ignored the story. I read what all the characters said, but it never really stuck with me what they said. I wasn't entirely sure. Not to mention, since this game is Korean, the translations aren't the best. There's a lot of times where it's noticeable that it's like, that's not right, you know, grammatically, but let it slide. You know, it's Korean people. What can you expect? Anyway, with the Timegate portion of the game, crazy story. I was really engrossed, and I was really upset when my fatigue ran out and I had to stop playing, which I should mention that. Fatigue, I have not shut up for the last like 15 minutes. I'm sorry. Fatigue is that blue bar right there above the center bar of icons, like where it says menu and shop. Above it, there's a blue bar with EXP up written on it. That's the fatigue bar. It goes down by 1 every room that you visit in a dungeon, and once it hits 0, you cannot run through dungeons anymore. If you have even a single fatigue point, you can run through an entire dungeon. But once it hits 0, the game's like, you need more. Which you can either get a fatigue recovery potion from various sources, or you can buy them, because they sell them too for, I think, real money as well. But they're not that hard to come by, honestly. If anything, they're always offered up as part of the in-game events per in-game currency that you can get pretty easily. So, you know, it's never really that bad. That said, almost every time that I've ever run out of fatigue and I bought a potion, I ended up not even playing anymore because I already had my fill. So, I don't know. I'm not the kind of person who puts like 80 hours into one day, even if I could, because I have 6 characters who all have their own separate fatigue bars. I don't know. How long is this video? Oh, I can keep talking for a bit more. Cool. So there's one last thing I want to hit up on, since we kind of went through everything about Eritrea herself, I think. Awesome character. Once I get used to her weapons, the range and everything about it, I'm like back in form, and I'm able to clear rooms awesomely with various explosives and comically huge weapons. Anyway, so an element of the game that gets added once you reach Ghent is called Nihilistic Demon Stones, and you need a lot of these fuckers for a lot of quests, and it's really fucking annoying. You also get access to something called Daily Challenges, which there's a bar of there's a section of daily challenges that'll get you Nihilistic Demon Stone debris. And if you have 10 pieces of debris, you can give them to Sharon, another character, and exchange them for a single Demon Stone. And, you know, the things involve collecting a bunch of drops from certain enemies, cartel orders, cover fragments, those kinds of things. Which are really hard to get if you're no longer in Ghent, because it's like you don't have the patience running through this area that gets you no EXP. My sister kept telling me, just buy them, just buy them, just buy them. But me, you know, being the fucking stingy person I am, I was like, I can get them. And then I just did nothing but complain about them. So eventually I looked into the auction shop and buying them. Wow, they're actually a lot cheaper than I thought. I spent like $1 million on like 400 of them. Which is, believe it or not, like, wow, that's all I needed. I still have a good portion of those 400. I think I have like 170 left. So it's like, yeah, those went to great use. So seriously, once you get to this part of the game and you discover that you need Nihilistic Demon Stones for everything, just go to the auction house and buy them. They're really not that expensive. And I think this part of the game also gives you access to what is called the account vault. Because, yeah, every character has a safe where they can put shit in, you know, so you don't have to hold it with you. But you also have the account vault, which unlocks at a certain level, and basically, whatever you put in the account vault, all the other characters on your account can get. So, put your nihilistic demon stones in there and other things that your characters need to, like, awaken or whatever, and everybody can reach them. Free demon stones for everyone. You know, so yeah, that's the way life goes. Anyway, I do believe that's all that I have to say about Eritrea and her journeys through Ghent and other assorted mechanics of Dungeon Fighter. Once again, I will appeal to you to play this fucking game. Like, seriously, it's a lot of fun. It's a really easy to get into MMO. Everything about it is so simplistic. And, does it look that complex to you? I don't think it is, honestly. And even if it is, I think you can learn it, pick it up in like one play session, maybe two. You know, just testing out with all the buttons and testing this, that, and this. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. I'll see you next time where we run through Janix, who is my main character and the strongest character that I have. Closest one to the level cap of the game. So, see you then. Hasta.